Hey.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, we still have that.
Yeah, we do.
All
Did you
right.
catch the glint off the? Oh, how
Oh,
do I
hell
get
yeah.
that? How do I? Oh man, it's hard to recreate. It had like the anime glint.
Oh.
See that? See that when I? All right. While we get everyone in here, thanks for tuning in, guys. So tonight at NorCalibur Fridays, it is not a tournament. We do alternate. We haven't had one of these in a while because with Evo coming up, and then we missed one for the holidays. We haven't had this casual stream in a while, but we are back to it. So on casual nights, we do the tutorial. So it's back to the lab again tonight. We're going to talk about Cassandra. You viewers at home voted, and she won by a big margin. We might revisit some of those other topics later.
Not surprised.
We'll keep seeing what people want. But of course, she is the newest character. If you've played ranked at all, then you've probably fought only her in ranked. Or if you come to locals like us, then suddenly everyone at your local has a new main. So it's probably a good thing that we're here talking about her. Don't get hit by the jank. Hopefully, if you're here tuning in, you watch all the way through, or even if you come in. Of course, we're not going to teach you how to be a master of the character, but at least to understand the big picture. Because I notice, she's in this game especially, each character is so different. Even if you don't know the big picture, then it's going to be a bad time.
Yeah, you got to know.
So how are we advancing? Can I just boop it here?
Well, do you want to? So you ready to go?
Yeah. So guys, we're gonna go back and forth between us, and then
we have. Oh shoot, I'm not selected on it. There we go.
Yeah. So we'll have our little PowerPoints. We're gonna switch the game back and forth as well.
Yeah. So this is NorCalibur Fridays. Back to the lab again. Episode 2, Cassandra Basics.
All right.
Put together by the one, the only uwucos.
Yeah, so I'm going to, Zach's here, cool. So I'm going to be maybe explaining stuff, and then Ben is also a student like you guys. I don't know, not many in the chat right now, but if you guys come in later, you can always ask questions. So I just boop this.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, we are a little cut off on the bottom right. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's something I didn't think about. Okay, so the character right now, she's so new that we still have a little bit of discussion back and forth as to how she should be played. Some people say that her whiff punishment is a big forte, which she can do. She has a very robust throw game. But if we're talking about a little bit of an overview, at least objectively, we can say for sure she has a lot of plus frames, a lot of plus on hit, a lot of good strings, and that allows her to do well at close range. Her throw game, so she has regular throws. She's one of the few characters who can low throw. And then Titanic Struggle, for the rest of the night, you'll hear me call it mount, because it is more of, it's really just a mounts if you are into actual martial arts. But the game calls it Titanic Struggle, and she does just mount you, and there's a little mix-up there.
Yeah, it's not like a stance. It's
just a raw mix-up 50-50. It's not like a mount in Tekken. If you guys play Tekken and you play Marduk or fight against Marduk, it's very more involved. Not very easy in this game. Forward or back break. She has longer range pokes, so she does have some bigger range pokes and whiff punishment. If you talk about like her 3AB, that does go more than the whole screen. So she has some longer range. And of course, as her sister does, she has a lot of evasiveness with her tech crouching or tech jump. Her stances, her step stances, she has the Angel Step, just like Sophicia does, and Angelic Twirl, which is an auto parry kind of back step. Yeah, and if we talk about some of the downsides, one of her mechanics is she can spend guard cost, but that is high risk, so you are just inevitably going to get your guard busted, and against some matchups, that's really a bad time. Yeah, I know a lot of her standard pokes, as good as they sound on paper, there's a lot of weaknesses, a lot of difficulty there. Like, talk about 6AA is very good. It's plus on block. It's both high, so that can get ducked, and that may be difficult. And if we talk a bit about her ranges too, she has a lot of fast attacks like these plus frame moves. They're very stubby. And then her long range attacks are very slow. So...
Sorry, more people showing up.
Yeah. We're kind of here at the end, so...
I'm also trying not to get distracted by Fortnite.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of Fortnite here too. Yeah, so that is kind of... and that's why a lot of the discussion comes from, like, how to play the character. Which should you be relying on. But definitely When you're brawling up close, you'll notice it playing her that you want a little more range on these moves. And then same thing, you're trying to keep people out with your long moves and you get hit out of them. And then the last thing is that, so she has this Divine Force install power-up and her guard cost mechanics. Without those, her damage and her options are kind of limited. So you do have to kind of get momentum going. You want to get the power-ups. You want to be willing to spend guard in a meaningful way. Otherwise, she can get locked out pretty quickly. So yeah, it's interesting now to hear what different people say. Party Wolf recently made a tutorial. He was saying that he thinks the character should be more, you contain with the pokes, and then you really just go in with the throw mix-ups. I've heard other people say you should focus more on the whiff punishment. It's interesting. The character is really so new, it's hard to say. I know that it's pretty clear, even from our limited experience, like me playing and other people, and what people are saying is a lot of her strengths are pretty linear. So that is something to note. You want to somehow work your way into discouraging the enemy from stepping so that you can get all these nice B string mix-ups and other things like that going. And the other thing to go with that, since she has so many options, I think worth noting is that I don't think she's like an uber simple character. I know people talk about like Sophicia as being more like a classic like simple game plan type, and I think with all the options that Cassandra has, you want to spend guard, this, that, and the other thing, I feel like she is a little more complex, a little more advanced, especially compared to her iterations in past games.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like a lot of her extra tools coming from the guard usage mechanic, like they're all really useful, can lead to a lot of like good combos and damages, things like that. But again, they're very high risk because if they don't, I mean, if they don't hit or I mean they get blocked or something like that, like that's 10% of your guard is just gone. So it gives you a lot more to think of. Versus Sophie, I mean, she doesn't have that. You just
no one else has to worry about that. It's like a whole nother mechanic. It's a resource you manage guard cost with any character, but like you're explicitly able to spend it, you know. Whereas other characters, you're like, oh, I'm low on guard, I'm just gonna move more. Whereas here, you're like, oh, I have a lot of guard, I can use these crazy moves. Or oh, I landed a launcher, I feel comfortable spending 20% of my guard to do a bit more damage here. And that kind of decision making is like a whole layer that you wouldn't have with literally anyone else. So that does make her kind of tricky in that regard. And then one last thing I think is worth noting is that a lot of her pressure comes with not finishing strings. You know, almost most of the casts, they do single 6A, you have to hesitate, you're not sure if they'll finish it. And I think a lot of Cassandra's strengths comes from all these strings she has, where like unfinished string pressure, we'll call it. I think that's something we'll keep in mind. We'll talk about strings more later, but I think that's one of her fortes. So yeah, let's go ahead. I'm just going to do an overview here, and then we're going to spend more time not staring at this table, but going through it in-game. And so these are just all the moves that she can use to spend guard. There's a lot of them here, but a lot of them you're not going to use too much. I
mean, just give the whole thing so you can see it.
So we'll kind of look through it here. BBB, it's kind of weird that her BB just has a built-in mix-up at the end. But to do the mix-up, you're spending guard. 4A plus B is your is a rare, one of those slow long-range moves. She throws the shield, it tracks, it pulls them in. We'll look at that in a second. 6B plus KA is another kind of legacy move she's always had. And this is really just a combo ender. So it's a kind of a weird choice. A lot of times this really, it does ring out. So sometimes it's a great choice to spend the money on that to win the round.
Yeah.
And other times you spend 10 guard to get like 3-4 damage, maybe 6 damage if you get the just frame. So kind of a tricky one there. 4B plus K and 4B plus K6 are actually the same as BBB and BBB6. It's just the move on its own with a long startup. 2B plus K is a rare launcher. It's a good launcher. It locks them overhead. We'll show you in a second. But again, it costs meters. So it's like sometimes like really did you want to, you know, like you said, you think you can whiff punish them. Or you're going to try to go for the ring out, but they block it. So it's safe, but you spend a lot of resources just to do it.
Right.
Her low throw, which we'll talk about too, has you have to spend meter to go into the mount stance, into Titanic Struggle. And then also all her options out of Angelic Twirl, they all cost meter, so or all cost guard meter. So if we want to flip to the game real quick, we'll just run through these so you can see what they look like.
Right. So let me go. So we are on. All right. So we've got our training mode open. For those of you at home, we do have our scuffle program moment. So we do have all our frame data that we can look at, but you can't see it because it's an overlay program, so it doesn't,
Yeah.
it doesn't show up in the
So
game
if you have
tab.
a question about frames, let us know, or I'll try to mention them. You can just hold guard for now while I do all these.
And just for reference, Uwu is playing Cassandra. I'm playing my homegirl on the right.
Yeah.
Who's still the better sister.
So
All
let's
right.
look through all of them here. So BBB, if you want to see, it ends in this high, so you can duck that. If you want to go ahead and duck, Ben. Shoop. And even on block as a break attack, it does give Divine Force.
So you cannot GI it.
You really should not be GIing unless you want to make a hard call out. The better thing is that on block, you can step, depending on the character. I don't like some of the chunkier guys. I don't think they could, but yeah. So it's better like.
Sophie got the steps, but
yeah, on punish too. On punish, on hit, like you just get hit. You can't step. You're gonna have to hold this mix up. So the mix up between this is BBB 6. And it gives you that little launcher. So that's safe, and that launches, so just don't block. And it gives you the full combo, but it is also very steppable. I think even on hit it's steppable.
I don't remember that, but
yeah.
try it. No.
Okay, no. Maybe it depends. I'm not sure. Yeah. So it is much slower than BBB, and it doesn't give Divine Force unless you maybe do a combo that gives it to you. So if I like do a combo that ends in Titanic Struggle, I can maybe give it. But yeah, so that is something pretty important for her. We'll talk more about the B string later, but that is a good way. It is good, but again, just for the chance at damage or the chance at Divine Force, she's spending guard. The other one is for A plus B. So this goes pretty far, and if you just try stepping, Ben. Yeah. Sorry. It tracks like crazy. Like,
okay,
if Cervantes, yeah.
You haven't even said the story yet.
Yeah, there's a video on Twitter where if she throws the shield and Cervantes teleports, and the second hit tracks to hit him. So this move tracks ridiculously.
It's the best tracking move in the game.
Yeah, possibly. But
I mean,
and
it
then
costs
on
guard.
hit, and then on hit. So if you just don't block, Ben, and I hit you at like max range, it pulls in almost like as a Solomon move.
Yeah.
But it does cost guard. So again, and it is safe on block, -8. And there are some cheeky things like on block, some characters can AGI it and things like that. So yeah, that's. But it's one of those. It is a key kind of long range move for her. So again, though, you're costing money to do it.
Oh,
so
my controls are different than normal.
Oh yeah, it might be because we're on the. That's the problem.
Oh
with
yeah,
control mode.
the reversed. Oh well, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, we're not gonna be doing too much. So, the other one is 6BKA, and this is not a move you should be doing in neutral because it's not that good. This is high. It's slow. This is really just more of a combo ender. So if you let me just.
Oh yeah. So the first two are special mids, and the last one ends in high. So
yeah,
the entire string can be ducked.
Yeah, it's really bad in neutral. It's really just a combo ender. And again, if you're ending a combo in it, you got to make a choice. Do you really want to spend the money for this? Another one, 4B plus K. This looks like BBB, but it's just on its own. But it is very slow. In fact, it is I-42. So more than half a second to wind this up. So that's plenty of time for your enemy to make a snack and then to duck or to step or to do anything else. And in fact, she can charge it. If that's not, so if you want to just stand and block, just hold block. You can charge it and it becomes +14 on supercharge, but like I think it's like I-50 plus to charge it. I mean, you have to catch the enemy sleeping for this. But she does have it. It is there. And the same thing if you're waiting for it. So 4B plus K6, it's similar as the BBB mix-up. You change it into launch. It's really... I honestly don't think these strings are very good just because you have to catch them sleeping. Like, the range isn't really that far. Like, we start here at 0. It doesn't even reach you. Or at round start, sorry, which is like 2 range or whatever. Yeah. So I don't think they're that good. 6B plus K is this overhead. It launches overhead. So if you just no guard, and you get like a full combo here. This is a good whiff punisher because you can do it out of 6 or out of 2. So that's nice. But costing meter to do that. It is safe on block. It's -10. And that can reverse ring out pretty far if you do this combo. Ooh, that goes pretty far. If you want to duck, Ben, and you have this low throw, and then to go into the extension, it costs meter to do that. So it's really nice. You're going into mount, but again, you're actively doing the right thing. You're throwing them, they get strong, and you still have to spend money to continue. So that's worth noting. And then we don't see them too much, but this one, this is a good get-in move. Angelic Twirl A or 2-1-4A.
Oh, do we need to explain the brakes on mount, or is that later?
No, I'll do that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking ahead.
No, it's good. You're on top of it. So Angelic Twirl A, she spins on the shield. This is pretty slow, I-28. It is safe on block and +10 on hit.
Side note, so that's Cassandra's lore thing, is that she doesn't know how to fight as well as her sister.
Oh, yeah.
So she uses the shield really unconventionally, which is what leads into her guard mechanic. Is that because she uses all the guard mechanic moves are like she uses the shield in weird ways, and so that's supposed to be why it's like eating
It
her
hurts
guard.
her, yeah. Yeah, it's like these powered up.
Just FYI.
Yeah, I would recommend playing her story. It's actually very good. But yeah, she's not the traditionally trained warrior that her sister is, so she fights with such reckless abandon that she does weird things like kick you with her shield.
Man,
and it hurts her to do
high
it.
sensitivity. Yeah. Sorry. Fortnite is still just
Fortnite is crazy. It's on the big screens behind us. It's hard to deny the
it's like
presence of Fortnite at this
anywhere
at our event. So yeah, or anywhere in the world at this time. Yeah, so this move is good for her to get in because this goes pretty far. But again, you're costing me to do it. Then she does have these B strings out of Angelic Twirl. These are weird kind of like counter hit moves, or yeah, if you charge that one, it becomes a break attack. You can use this as maybe like a whiff punisher, but I don't think there is a lethal hit attached to it, but I don't think it's something you get a lot of use with. If you have to look at it this way, if you have to spend 10% of your guard, and when you look at the move, you're like, I'm not sure how I'd use that. Probably shouldn't use it that much.
Yeah.
To go with that, Angelic Twirl K, this move does seem good. I-18 +4 on block leads to an extension on hit, but it's high and you're spending money again, so maybe not a big one. So yeah, we'll go back to the PowerPoint. That's just so you can see them again in game. Let's go ahead and.
Sorry, I gotta do it on here too, which is that one.
Okay. So that's her one mechanic, is the guard cost. The next one, oops.
Oh, sorry, you're not.
Oh,
jeez.
There
we go.
Yeah, the other one is her install, the Divine Force. So
DF for short.
Yeah, DF, we'll call it most of the night. And so yeah, her strength, or she's able to directly call upon the power of the gods, and they give her these little power-ups. And these are all the ways she can get into the install. So these conditions, some of them on hit, most on hit, some on guard, will give her the install. We were talking earlier with some of the others, and I think it's safe to say that while she benefits from the install, she doesn't have to have it. You'll see here that looking just even at this list, she can't super reliably always have it. It's not like Nightmare where he can just like do the bubble and get it.
Bubble or just get it.
So she has to work a little bit to get it.
Yeah, hers is more of a reward for good playing.
Yeah, it's a bigger reward, and she doesn't need it as much. It's like a bonus. It's not like Nightmare where suddenly you have it and your gameplay is different.
They need to turn this off.
This guy is like he hangs out with too many. He teaches too many children, and their ADD is contagious. Okay, that's
you're not wrong.
Anyway, so we'll run through them here quickly and then show them in game. 6A plus B, 2-2A plus B. This is a good one. It's just a good longer range attack for her. It does knock down and give her the power up on hit, and it is plus on block, but it's high. 6-6A plus B is a big whiff punisher, so that's nice. That when we talk about her whiff punishment, that's a big move. When she gets a good whiff punish, she gets a good 50 damage and the install. Her command grab, we'll talk about a bit more about her throw game later, but that is a benefit. Her regular command grab when it lands gives her the install. Out of mount, which we'll talk a bit about as well, one of the options for mount gives it to her, so if the enemy knows you're trying to get Divine Force, you can deny it that way. Let's see. We talked about BBB. So BBB is a way to get it. And 4B plus K, same thing. Back throw, it's just, again, like a big, you're not going to reliably get a ton of back throws, but if you do land one, it is a benefit. Her back turn move, she does have ways to put herself in back turn, so she can use it a little bit more. RE, it's another bonus. You win REA, you don't get a lot of damage, but you get the install. And these last 4 are, she does get her rewards for successfully using her AGIs and her tech crouch evasions. This is, again, something that you can maybe do on a string or on a hard read. Certain strings, you know, will give that to you. Like, it's basically similar, like, you know how Sophie's is. Like, oh, if they finish this string and I know they're going to do the B, I can do 4B and get the AGI. So just a little icing on the cake, we'll say, if she lands that successfully.
Oh.
So let's go in-game, and I'll just show you all those really quick. So here's 6-6 A plus B. Oh, sorry, 2-2 A plus B. Sorry, there it is. So that'll give that to her. And on block, that is +4, or +2, sorry. So, and it's kind of interesting that she can do it out of 6, so out of stationary or out of running. So that's good if you want to not block. And then this big stab gives it to her as well. This is super unsafe, so it should really only be used to punish. It is I-20. So if they whiff something big, you can go pretty far and stab them with that. There is a just frame. It's kind of tricky. I'm not going to try to get it, but there is one there. It gives you just a few more damage. Her command grab, so this is a back break, and it gives that to her. Very nice. So it adds a little bit maybe to the throw mix-up, in that one of them gives that. The mount mix-up, so the forward attack on the mount, she explodes and she gives that. We talked about BBB and 4B plus K earlier. Those are nice since they do give it to you on guard, so if they're just, you know, you catch them guarding, then it still gives it to you if you want to just block it. And you get the plus frame, so not bad, but it does cost money, cost guard. Back throw, which I can maybe demo this way because she has a way to combo into it. Gives it to you there. The back turn B plus K gives it to you on guard. That's not bad. I feel like everyone has such good back turn moves in this game, or most of the cast does.
Yeah.
She's no exception. That's safe. It's I-14.
-8 on block. And it gives you, what the heck?
Yeah.
What the heck? Okay.
So it's pretty good. And she has some ways to get into it. 6-6K is probably one of the best ones, because on hit, even if it just forces it, you have to block it after getting hit by 6-6K. Even if you guard, it'll give it to you. Her other ways to get into back turn are not as good, I'd say. Like that one. Oh, sorry. Oops. Yeah, but that one is more unsafe. So stuff like that, not as good. REA, I guess I can show it to you. Okay. Actually, yeah, it has to hit. So.
Oh, oops, yeah.
Yeah, actually, and it's really like a benefit. Like.
Oh wait, oops, wrong one.
Yeah.
See, I don't use RE that much, so.
And then I get it. It's not even a lot of damage, so not that good. And then I don't even know if it's hard to demo it, but at the successful tech crouch here, successful AGI here, like if you want to do 4AB.
Oh, my 4AB?
Yeah. So I can like catch it with 4B there, stuff like that. And this last one, full crouch 3B, this is a really weird one. It's I-18, and this is -16 on hit. So maybe because it's out of crouch, there's some tricky uses for this, but I would say this is a pretty
oops, my buttons.
Pretty obscure move to use, because like just -16 is really bad. So yeah. All right, we'll go back to the oh, was the game?
Oh, we didn't do it in game.
No, you guys
I'm not paying attention, so
we'll run through it again.
All right,
Speed
take
run.
2.
Secret, yeah. It's okay. All right, 6A plus B. Kata. Kata. You heard me talk about it, so I'm just going to show you. 6A plus B, 4. The command grab, 6-4 A plus G. This is Titanic Struggle. Okay, BBB. 4B plus K. Talked about those earlier. Back throw, which I will combo into just to reliably get it. There's back throw. Here's back turn B plus K. Shoop. REA if you want to do kick. Woo. And then the AGIs, which we talked about a little bit. So.
Oops, I hit you.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, that's good on that. So we won't belabor the point too much.
Okay. Now we go back to the PowerPoint, like was intended.
Yeah. No, it's all good. And yeah, so then the second part, you activate the Divine Force using these moves. And then the corresponding part is that you then spend it with these moves. The game calls it Holy Smite. And all these moves recover guard, so that is pretty good.
Oh, right, yeah.
So she's spending meter. She can earn it back a little bit. It's easier to spend it than to earn it. But she does get
Yeah,
them a
we
little
know
bit
that.
back. She can get a little bit back. So that is one of the benefits. So of these, 6B A plus B is very good. That makes her 6B natural on hit into a 75 damage attack throw. It's stubby. Maybe no surprise there, but that is very good.
Yeah.
2B A plus B is a weird one. So her 2B B string is very much like Sophia's, where she hits a mid and then stabs, and it's very unsafe. So it gets powered up in this state, but it is still unsafe, and it's only a counter hit, an NCC, so counter hit combo. So if you can set up the counter hit or whatever it may be, this is a huge payoff, but a huge risk. And then she has 3, 2, and 1 A plus B. These are the different explosion lightning bolts. I'm sure if you've seen anything with this character, you've seen a ton of those moves because they're ridiculous. And it gives her just these big, they're both combo extenders and combo starters. Like 3 A plus B can whiff punish some crazy long range moves. So that is a big benefit. And again, we talk about something where that's still not her core game plan. She's not trying to whiff punish Ivy and Mina. But it is just something she can do when she has the meter, or when she has the install. Angel Step A plus B. It gives her a little bit better on her Angel Step A, B. It's just powered up a little bit. I don't think this one is as good, honestly, just because it's still very unsafe, and the damage is not actually that big. But if you're catching a step with it or some whatever it may be. And then the weird one, which we'll maybe show in a bit here, is that out of mount, she gets an unbreakable extension, but it hurts herself and it doesn't heal her guard. So this is more, I would say, like if you get into mount and it's like a round closer. Or
If
like
you know the damage is guaranteed to kill.
Yeah, it scales a lot, so it's honestly not that good at the end of a combo. It's like if you land a 6K or other faster way into the mount, it might be good, but this one's really not that. You're not going to be using it often, I'll say.
Yeah.
Like yesterday we had a funny game online where it ended up that I had like a Yoshi seppuku finish where I blew myself up and I knew it would kill me, but I had a round advantage, so I still won the game.
Yeah.
That kind of thing is going to be few and far between.
Oh, yeah,
so
my G-Force isn't working properly. I couldn't clip it.
It's all good. I should watch the replay. I have it. Okay, so let's go ahead then and hop to the game.
Back to the lab.
We'll double check it.
No,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, yeah, we did it right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting it
This
now.
is a new program for us. This is only the second episode because it was so long ago that we did episode 1.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So
Pre-Evo.
I'm just going to be doing the training mode thing to give it to me here. So this is 6B A plus B. That hurts quite a bit. And so that can be used, despite the short range, it can be used as a whiff punisher. I mean, it's not too bad. And that is also like a combo filler. So if you just don't block, I can do it like that. And now my 3B does actually about the same damage, but
Yeah,
confirm
scaling
that
is
way.
real.
2B A plus B looks like this. Pretty cool. But yeah, again, it's unsafe on block, but if you block, then you can see that it does push back quite a bit. So it's going to be tricky for some characters to punish that. But yeah, that if you can find good ways to reliably use that, it's really good. It does catch step, so like if you block the first one and try to step. Oh, not there. It didn't. I guess it can. Yeah, her step is so good.
Yeah,
maybe she
Sophie's
gets out of it.
Sophie's got the good hitbox
Or
and
at
step.
weird ranges, maybe. I don't know. As you can see, it's not that reliable. So I don't know. This is a weird kind of committal thing.
Catches a back step.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other ones, like we talked about, 3A plus B. Here, if you want to let that land real quick so I can do the combo. Boop. Oops, I misjudged it. There we go. It's hard to reach. Hard to convert that.
There it goes.
Yeah, I'm not even getting it. Okay, but she does get a little bit of a fall up there. I'm going to try one this time. Yeah, this should be easier. Oh, and I messed up the input. All right, so that's the one. That's a lightning bolt. A little closer is the explosion. That's 2A plus B. And then the close range one is 1A plus B, which is a tornado. So those are all well and good. Angel Step A plus B, that gives a little lightning bolt and a ground stun. Yeah. Yeah, I gave it to him.
Oh, yeah, we already took, yeah.
Yeah. And then let's go ahead and show the mount explosion. Kabloom.
Boom.
And you see, when we do it off the tackle there, the damage difference isn't bad. But if you do it at the end of a combo, there's a lot of scaling. So, yeah. All right. Those are those. So those are actually only the few ways she can use the Divine Force. So when we talk about it not being a huge integral part of her, like she can't. That's why. Yeah. All right. Let's go back.
All right, next slide.
Soul Charge. So one big part of her Soul Charge is she does get constant access to all the Divine Force moves.
Just like Nightmare and all that
Yeah. Kind of like the other installs. They use a lot of meter. So if you're like spamming the lightning bolts and stuff, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna run out real fast.
Yeah.
So, but that is one of the benefits she has. And then she gets a few other new moves. 1KB is the most notable, just a big low. It makes 1K get an extension that knocks down, rings out, does like 50 damage. So that hurts. That's something you're always going to be looking for. Her Angel Twirl A, the one she spins on the shield, that gets becomes a bigger move. It's like a Beyblade, like Aswell 668 plus B. And then Angelic Twirl A plus B, she just gets like a giant special mid lightning bolt. It goes pretty far. It looks like Yoshitora's special sword in Sam Show, if you've seen that, where it's just a giant yellow projectile. Maybe not quite as much damage as his, but it does look kind of the same. She gets an extension, so for B plus KB or BBB, there's an extra hit. It's not a lot. It's kind of nice if it's there.
That's just like Sophie's.
Yeah. It's not I would say it's not a key thing there. For B plus K, yeah, now in Soul Charge, it's not plus 14 on block, it's just unblockable. So if you catch them sleeping, you get to blow them up for it. Not really something you're going to do often. And then her low throw, the other one, 1A plus G, the back low throw, it gets a new animation, does more damage. So yeah, again, Soul Charge, not really a big thing. It's more that she's enjoying having constant Divine Force, or it's a way for her to get it immediately. When the Soul Charge runs out, she keeps it. So that's kind of nice. So let's go and just, you can see what they look like. I'll go ahead and make sure I have Infinite Soul Charge. You have some too. So 1KB looks like this. And if I push you to the edge, it will send you out, I believe.
What?
No?
Or is it counter?
I don't know. That's actually...
Oh, it might have to be counter.
Yeah. In any case. Okay, so not reliably, but it can. And I think if I knock down, like if you just, like I'll hit one and then you just stay down. Yeah, it even hits grounded, so it doesn't do as much damage on the ground, but this is just, it's annoying to deal with. Here's the Beyblade. That one actually, it's not a break attack till the end, so if you do it up close, you can GI it, which is kind of weird. But it still costs guard. It is +4 on block, but it allows her to get in pretty reliably in Soul Charge. And the main thing too is if you're trying to step because you're afraid of this, then it'll catch the step. Let's see. Here's the big lightning bolt. Oops. Kaboom. And that does give a stun into like that combo. Or no, I actually get a better one. Yeah. Oh yeah, this one, I don't think it's in the slide, that's my bad, but she does get this Angel Step A plus B. This is a good combo filler and a wall splat. Nothing too crazy, still unsafe. In fact, it is -24, extremely unsafe. So it's mostly a combo filler. Here's BBB, B. Yeah, and those are both high, so if they duck it, you're just, nah, it's not gonna be fun. Here's the 4P plus K extension, and then here's the unblockable. Really not that good. And then if you want to duck, here's the powered up low throw, where there's lightning to 70 damage. Pretty cool. So that just gives you maybe more of a mix-up. The enemy's really going to want to break back against Soul Charge low throws, thinking it'll be that one. Maybe you can get an amount easier with the other one.
Yeah. That unblockable stuff's really nice because it doesn't look like an unblockable until the very end.
Yeah, but the main thing is like you should already be getting like stepping or ducking this anyway. So like getting hit by the unblockable, it's like there's really no excuse. Like it's really cheesy. Like they have to really be sleeping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're right. It does kind of come out kind of quick, but
And it can ring out.
yeah. But really, we'll say realistically, like don't make that your game plan. Like, I'm gonna get a soul charge, and they're gonna get scared, and I'm just gonna do this. Like, you know, it's gonna be maybe just a sometimes thing, right? Cool. So that kind of covers all the basic mechanics and what they look like. Those are her special kind of her unique mechanics. Yeah. And so we're gonna look now. I'll switch that back over. Yeah, and let's look now at some of the longer range moves. We talked about some of these a little bit. So the Angelic Twirl A is the big spin. Gets her in pretty safely at the cost of guard. 2K string is a nice one because it's low horizontal. And there's some extensions off that make it not... there are ways to beat it, we'll say, but I'd say that's still a very good kind of option for her to control space in front of her. 6-6-A, it's very stubby. So you think of Sophie's 6-6-A, which goes very far. Hers is short, but it is safe. So not bad, not bad. 6-6-BB goes pretty far. That is her combo ender a lot of times, or combo filler, but it's not bad in neutral, just since it does cover a lot of ground. We showed a little bit of 6A plus B, 2-A plus B. When we say mid-range, this is a very liberal. This is for her mid-range.
Yeah.
It's not mid-range for most of the game, but it is pretty good in that it knocks down, gives a Divine Force, and if they block it, it's plus frames. 4A plus B is the shield throw. We looked at that a bit earlier. It's just that is a pretty long-range move. That we'll say is a fair to call long range.
Yeah,
it goes pretty far, and it will
very deceptive.
It will pull in. 6-6-A plus B4. That is the big stab with punish, not bad. And then the 2A plus B, 3A plus B, those are the Divine Force explosions that we talked about. Yeah, so let's go in and show you these again in game a little bit. I say these are long range moves, but really they don't go that far. So we had on there A. Let's go ahead and switch off the soul charge here. You can see how quickly I can just burn the soul charge using these using those moves. Yeah. Oh, no, I still have it here. Well, I can just... Boop. Okay. So there's Angelic Twirl A. That does go pretty far. That we'll say is comfortably a pretty long-range move. 2-2K. So 2-2K is just this low. It's minus 12 on hit, which sounds horrible, and minus 18 if you block it. But there's the extension. So there's 2-2K hold, which gives you this mid. So you have to try and GI that, or there's this high extension. So if you do, it's low high. So if they duck, it's gonna be like you want to try ducking it. It's gonna be a lot of it's very unsafe. But because you can just stay ducking through it, right? Yeah. So you get punished hard. But there is the mid extension, so it is get kind of tricky. You know, they can try to GI it. I think is the best option is to GI because then you can this will jail and you won't GI if you do the KK. Yeah, or yeah, I guess it just GIs both versions. But yeah, the timing is different. So, or that's why single 2-2K can be, you know, a risk. So, yeah, that's a pretty annoying string to deal with as the enemy. And the range isn't bad. If we've buffered in out of 6-6, if I do 6-6-3-2, whoop, like that, it goes pretty far. Here's 6-6-A. If you want to do Sophie 6-6-A, it goes much further, but it is safe, so that's nice. Here's 6-6-BB. This goes pretty far, like, yeah, covers a lot of ground. It is very linear, of course, unsurprisingly. 6A plus B, which we talked about. It's really, that's close range for a lot of characters, but for her, that is one of your kind of longer range buttons. If I, there we go. Let's do that too. The shield throw, which we talked about. This good old 6A plus B, the stab. And then we will. These are definitely long range moves. The Divine Force, Explosion, and Lightning Bolt. So these can whiff punish some things pretty far
And do
away.
chip.
Yeah, and they do chip. So, yeah. So, I think it's undeniable, even though those moves can be nice to whiff punish and things at longer ranges, and she can do You know, we'll say like quasi-servy type, like make a whiff and punish them for it type gameplay, especially with her fast movement. She can a little bit, but it's not her forte. So we'll go now if you want to switch back over. There's much more to talk about, I think, with her closer range moves. Oops.
That button, not
There
that
we go.
button.
No problem. Yeah, so she has a lot of great frames at close range. These moves we'll talk about here. A lot of plus on block. That's pretty. I see that's generally rare.
That is the phrase of the day when you're dealing with Cassandra is plus on block.
Yeah, or at the very least you should know it, because that's what you'll see the online ones abusing. So don't be mashing. There are other ways.
Don't be mash. Well, okay.
There are better ways to deal with these moves.
Yeah.
So yeah. BK will show is the most egregious of it. There's a lot of plus frames in general on that one. We've been seeing 6A plus B on this list a lot.
Good move.
6AA. It's high, but only counter hit combo, but plus on block. And then full crouch 1K, which you don't see a lot. We'll show that in a sec, but that one is plus on block and actually gives a big plus 12 stun on regular hit. But it is, I guess it's stubby and it's out of crouch. So you don't see that much. We talked a little bit about Angelic Troll K earlier. That does cost meter, but it's plus 4 on block. So if you want to spend the meter and get in, you think they're going to block it or you might get hit, could be worth it. And then 6BB, she can charge. It's a little gimmicky to charge it, I'd say, or not very good. Maybe is the better term.
I mean,
it's steppable even on hit. But if you catch them kind of, you throw it in there maybe to mess with your timing and to maybe hope they can counter hit it or something like that. So
yeah, it's like a thing you can condition it. I feel a little bit as well.
But you wouldn't rely on it.
Yeah, it's just another thing to just mix up.
Yeah, so
it's a tool.
6BB. It is plus 4 on block if they block it.
Yeah.
1K is that fast low, and that is a counter hit stunner, and plus 2 on hit. So that's a good one. 1A also plus on hit, and then full crouch 1B where she does the splits. We'll see that in a sec. And then these moves don't necessarily have the same plus frames, but they are notable, we'll say. So 3K, it's pretty generic. She doesn't need not a lot of range, but it does give a low throw attempt on counter hit, a stun. 3AK, it's her only horizontal mid. You talk about stopping step, you usually want a horizontal mid. Think of like a Geralt 3A or something, but she totally does not have that. It's very stubby. And then 1B is good if they're not stepping, and in fact they're stand guarding. It's pretty good. It's an unseeable fast knockdown. I know a lot of people when the character first came out, everyone was like freaking out about it, but the range is not that good. And her Oki is not ultra stellar, so even though you're knocked down, she doesn't get a huge potential off it. But it is a good move. So, yeah, let's go ahead and show these in-game so you can see them.
All right. And, oh, no, I hit the button. There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So what do we have? Oh, BK. We'll talk more about this later because we'll talk about the B moves in general. But plus 8 on hit and plus 2 on block. So if you want to block it. Yeah, so. Oh, yeah. If you want to. And you're going to hit.
Oh, oops. I got hit.
So yeah, that one you can it's high. There is a mix-up out of it if you start ducking the high, but that is a good way to get plus frames. This is plus. It's funny, it's on the close range and the long range list, but like if you're stepping something, you can get plus frames that way. 6AA, this is that's plus 2. That one too you can duck, and there is a mid. 6AB if you're trying to duck, you might get hit by that. But those are plus 2. And then this last one, you don't see this move very often, but full crouch 1K. This little, I guess we'll call it an axe kick. Choop. That's plus 2 on block and just force crouch. Then here's Angel Twirl K. It's plus 4.
She puts the shield on her foot.
Yeah, she kicks you with the shield. That's why it costs guard.
Like, who puts a shield on their foot?
Who throws a shoe? So 6BB, it does give this nice little stun. I think I can get like something like that after, yeah. And then 1K. So
just wait,
yeah,
it doesn't like that one.
Yeah, this isn't it. Scuffle's dying. It doesn't like neutral B plus K.
Yeah, so this is plus 900 frames on block. That's
and then
accurate.
it shows the actual move, and yeah, it's actually minus 12.
Yeah, it's just I guess the wind up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So 1K. Choop. Yeah, it's hard. It actually tech jumps in the later frames, so sometimes they'll do a low, and no, my low beats your low. It's kind of we're gonna have to demonstrate it because it's gonna be hard to time, but that is a thing. 1A. This does go is a good step catcher too, and she gets the plus frames after. And here's full crouch 1B, which does the kind of the splits to get way down there. So this is a crazy tech crouch on this move. Yeah, and these moves are good. Oh yeah, and we have these other close ones. 3AK. Look at the range on this 3A. Like, look at that.
It's like Amy range.
Yeah. So it is kind of nice that this that you get counter hit on the K as we just saw, but the whole string is unsafe. This is minus 14. Stab punishable, which sucks. So
oops, I'm bad.
it's fine. You don't have to. But
no,
yeah.
I do need to do that, Neil.
Not right
Can't
now.
let me keep getting
yeah,
rid of
there
it.
we go.
See, there it
yeah.
is.
So that's. I mean, the risk reward is pretty awful there. Of course, Sophie has the best 14 frame punish in the game, but still. And then
yeah,
3K.
you just have to hit it.
Yeah. 3K, also very stubby, but
Only minus
does
8.
give a nice counter hit kind of stun. So she unfortunately has to use them, you know, when she's fighting in range. And then I didn't list them on the slides, but her AA and her 2A and stuff are pretty stubby. Like if you just get hit. Let's see here, or BB. Some of these moves, yeah, like BB on hit, or even on block. I can't even 2A anymore. Everything is really stubby. So it's worth noting. And then, of course, the throws you have to be close for. So she really wants to be in your face doing annoying stuff. And if not, then she's just trying to get a knockdown or something to get there, I think. So, yeah. So, unfortunately, as bad as they look, you do kind of have to use these moves quite a bit, especially on some of the matchups. Like earlier we had Pluto was fighting Trashman's Yoshi, and it's like you got to use them because against these characters. Yeah. Oh, and 1B I didn't show that, but there's that. It can be charged. It's kind of weird. So charge, you get like a follow-up, but I don't know. It's more for using combos because it does give like against grounded, it gives an extension. So yeah, that's 1B. Yeah, it is still really good, but given her bad Oki and stuff, like, it's not as killer as it sounds on paper. I remember a lot of people like, what is this? Like, long range, like, knockdown low, but, yeah. So, yeah, we'll go back. The other thing that's important for her close range are the throws. So, when I go back to the PowerPoint, I'll pause the game here.
That button.
Yeah, so she has a really good throw game. So of note is that she never has to use her normal throws. So she has a command throw for forward and a command throw for back. 6-4 A plus B and 6-6 A plus G. Or, oh yeah, that's a typo. A plus G, of course, is the throw. Excuse me.
Oops.
It's fine. It happens, I guess. But,
Yeah.
yeah, so the throws, they're good. The back throw gives Divine Force, and the forward throw is like a... you get an extension out of it. That's something that she's always had. So it can lead to ring outs and things like that if she has Divine Force, or even without it, stuff like that. And then she has the low throw, so that is a big benefit as well. So that would make her, Astaroth, and Xianghua the only characters in the game that can throw a crouching character. They're very fast. I think I-12. Yeah, they're I-12. And yeah, the payoffs for them are pretty good. So the forward one, we'll say neutral throw, 2A plus G. It's a neutral break, forward break, whatever you want to call it. That one, she can spend the meter, hit K, and then she goes into the mount. And then the low throw is that big spinning, like, I don't even know. What is the wrestling move for that throw? Whatever it may be. That thing does a lot of damage.
There's a word for it, but it's not. It's a wrestling move.
Yeah, it's such a wrestling move. It's very.
It looks cool.
Very funny. And we'll show these in a bit.
Like
here.
a sidewinder.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't do that at home, kids.
Don't.
Or at your martial arts practice.
Don't play Kaz at home.
Don't do the spinny throws or the suplexes or whatever the hell.
Yeah,
They're trained professionals. So, Let's see. So then she has her like bull rush. We talk about that she has not only the throw game, but she does have this bull rush tackle. It tech crouches on counter hit. The regular one goes in the mount. The charged one, which is very slow, is +10 on block and is guaranteed on hit to go into the mount. So there's a little bit of Asta in there too, maybe. Not nearly as good as Asta's bull rush. It does not have a hitbox as big as the moon, but it's still pretty good. And then this 8B plus K on counter hit. It's a weird move to use in neutral, but it will go into mount that way, or it is commonly a combo ender. Yeah, so we can show maybe some of the throws real quick. So here's the back one. She throws it. Gives
Doink.
you a weird kind of setup for a possible 2A plus G. And then the forward throw
Boing.
is this, so you can do that, or to go behind, you can get the 6B plus KA, or if you have Divine Force, you can do one of those. Oh, sorry, I did the wrong throw. You can give him one of these, you know, something like that. Yeah, so very good throw. I guess the only reason you might use the normal throw is it does end a little closer, so the Oki is better here as we get this nice anime shot. So that's maybe one reason, but you know, I think you should just, honestly, you should probably always use the command throw. As is with any command throw, they're +8 on break, so even if they break it, it's still, you know, Cassandra's turn. Those are pretty good. And then the low throws, which we've talked about, I think, earlier already. This one that goes into mount from the forward one, or this one that the Sidewinder, we'll call it.
Yeah, I'm calling it a Sidewinder.
And I think I don't know if we talked about it too much, but the mount, how it works is they just have to guess forward or back. The back is going to be this explosive face hit, and the forward is the one that gives the Divine Force. So it's another guess, unless you have the explosion, which we talked about. So as that. And then here are the bull rushes. You want to see what they look like, even on hit. 36 is not bad. It's I-18 and it tech crouches, but it is very linear.
Counter, it goes to mount.
Yeah. And if we charge it, it's guaranteed to go into mount, does a lot of damage. And in fact, not only does that do a lot of damage, but the follow-ups do a lot. Like, so that's 73 already, just because they get strong. And it's very plus on block. You want to block it.
Oh, that button.
Even at that, +10, that means even 6 BP, you can't step. That's how plus it is. So a lot of plus frames, but of course the startup is hyper linear. So, but it's kind of nice. Or if you want to tech crouch under something, it tech crouches starting on frame 6. So this tech crouch is a lot. And the last one is this 8B plus K. This like jumping. It is like I guess she knees you with the shield. And on counter hit, it goes into the mount. So that's another way she can get into it. But really, the main strength is the low throws and these command throws. So just always having the command throws to keep your turn at close range and to pressure them at close range is fantastic. And then if they start ducking or off certain setups, like if you want to try teching here, I'll just do this 236B and then you try to tech. Oops, if I can get the input right. And then I can low throw out of that. Because if they're in range, the low throw is always a tech catch. So that makes her tech catch is pretty good because you can always low throw out of them. So there's that. Cool. And then let's look at let's move on. Maybe more. This is one of the meteor slides. There's a lot on here, but just so you should know. I think playing the character, especially against her, to recognize these B strings and these other strings. They're, I don't want to say gimmicky, but if like you're gonna get bullied hard if you don't know how to deal with them.
Yeah. Yep.
We talked a little bit about the BBBs, the BBB and the BBB6. We talked about that. So right, you should start ducking the BBB, make them think about doing the low, the mid, and that kind of thing. That's crazy. Her B strings are so good. But they're Bs, right? So we talk about she has trouble containing step. But if you're not stepping, then she gets to party with these types of moves. So B6, we'll show that in a sec. That's the stab that's pictured here. Goes pretty far. It's high. It's I-16. It's a back step lethal hit capture. So she is the type of character that you probably would want to back step from, but you should do it safely or you will get blown up for it. BK, which we showed earlier. Second hit's high, you gotta duck it. You gotta show them that you're gonna duck it. You gotta deny them the plus frames. There is a mix-up, which is this B hold, and that is a mid fall up. So if you get ducked, you get hit by this. But at the very least, you're making the cast player guess, or as the cast player, you see that they're ducking, then you make them think twice about ducking.
Yeah.
And you can step or GI that second hit as well. So we'll show that in a bit. B2, so she has B2 and B2 hold, which are lows. Regular B2, it's like not very good. I'll be honest, like why? You might as well just do 1B.
Yeah,
quick
it's not
stab.
like, yeah, it's
but
not
the
like
charged one gives the back throw on hit, and it's safe on block. So you might throw that out
Yeah.
from time to time. Again, you should maybe anti-cast. You should learn to react to it and see her holding the arm up and just step. Shouldn't even duck it. You should step. So we'll look at that in a sec. Let's see. We have the explosions in there. I don't know. You just need to know the ranges for those, I guess. They're not really strings, but you need to know they're there. We talked about 6AA, 6AB. We'll look at that in a sec. You can duck the 6AA. You can step the 6AB, or better yet, you should just GI it if it's on block. On hit, you're gonna have to maybe guess duck or block. And we'll look at the 6-6BA B string because it's also really not that good. It's kind of gimmicky. And 9AK is another. It's good for closing the distance, but the low out of it, I would say, is just, it's more the threat of it that's good. I think that's something you'll see a lot of like day one online people doing a lot just because you're not used to reacting to it, but it's never guaranteed. So we'll look in that. Let's look at that in a sec as we go through this list.
Right.
But it's another one you should be aware of. I'd say everything on this, these are like exclamation mark, like key moves to know. So let's go ahead and flop in game so you can. We'll show you a little bit on how to deal with them. BBB we talked about. BBB on hit, on block, you can just step and don't take the mix-up. Just don't get out of there. On hit, then you're going to have to guess ducking or not for the most part, other than, you know, as a standard option. There's those. Let's see. B6. This goes pretty far. This is a good poke. It is high, but it's I-16, so they have to be. You're not reacting to this, right? It's gonna.
Yeah.
If it's gonna whiff, it's because they were already ducking. So, yeah. But it goes surprisingly far. Oh, that's yeah. Let's try to get like right at tip range. Like, if you just stay still for a sec. Ooh, this will hit for sure. Yeah, even from there. Yeah. So it goes pretty far.
Geez, my buttons are messing me up.
We talk about BK, so you can duck this. Yeah. And you'll have to do that because otherwise on block it's +2, right? You lose your turn. Crazy good. I'll notice a lot of times too, as a I-14 punish, right? That gives her the choice. Does she want to do BBB and go for this mix-up, or if she doesn't care about that, as a punish she can do BK because this is a natural hit. And then take +8 from the punish and keep the pressure going. That's something interesting, a good use of that as well. So yeah, that's BK. And then the mix-up with that is BB, where if you want to duck, try ducking it, and it'll hit that. So off this, then you can get like a little combo or a low throw mix-up, which does a ton of damage. But you can step and GI this, so like on block. Try stepping. Or yeah, you can GI it or you can step. I think you can step it. Let's see here. Yeah. So I think like 95% of casters, especially since she's new, they're going to see like, do they know? Do they know? Do they know? And just abuse this. I don't know how many times I've seen rounds where like, just don't block. Like the poor person is trying to take their turn and they're still mashing like after this and just get hit by this like 10 times. like
this?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. If you see this. Same thing, like I think this feels like abusable, the 6AA. If you don't know to duck it, then surely they're going to just keep doing it. But you can duck the second hit. And then there's a bit of a mix between, are you going to do the mid? Or better yet, you can just GI. I think that's probably a safe bet if you're going against it. Just GI both options. And the timing is not too different, so yeah. Oh, and then we were talking about 6/6 BAB. So these are the two strings. 6/6 BAB. Let's just show them.
Oh,
real
yeah.
quick, and then, but that is what you're supposed to do. 6/6 BAB, and then there's so it ends in a mid, or mid high low. 6/6 BAK. Yeah. So that. It seems like it almost feels like on paper like there is a mix up there. You might think, right? Oh, are they going to do the mid? They're going to do the low. But to
you
deal
can
with that,
counter both
yeah,
options the same way before you even get there.
Yeah, exactly. So the two things you can do is you can duck the high.
Oh.
So this high is always there. So regardless of the option, you can just 2A or something. Or better yet, what Big Papa's already doing is to just GI the second hit, and you don't deal with the rest. Because otherwise the damage is actually pretty big. If you get hit by this low, the last hit, oops, it's just neutral on hit, and it's only -12. But either way, you should just, I think it's good to get in the habit of GIing it. And then, yeah, it jails the 6/6 BB, so you won't get the GI if they do 6/6 BB, but she's -8. You can take your turn. So yeah, don't get hit by this. This is silly. I don't think this is definitely not something that she should rely on. But I think it's a similar deal, like a knowledge check. Like if you're ducking or whatever, then they're gonna keep doing it. So, and that is also like a combo filler in a weird case. Like after 3A plus B, then she does this string. And the last one is 9AK. So her 9A, actually on its own, this is pretty good. This goes pretty far. It's -14 on block, so it sounds bad on paper, but there is this risk of the low follow-up, right? So you should definitely get in the habit of ducking this. It's never guaranteed, even on counter hit, so it's just hoping that you're sleeping. If it lands, so just don't block, or just stand block, or yeah, you can just stand guard. I think it'd be good. I think you get some follow-ups if they stay down on it, so this is just like, you got to duck it. And that's what makes it good, though, is that there's kind of that constant threat. Like, you're not going to want to push buttons after this because you might get hit by that. So this does allow her to kind of get in safely off this move. You'll notice afterwards, she steps back. You notice that on block? So she doesn't get way in on it, but it is pretty good. And you know, jumping over lows and things like that. So, yeah, that's just a good string to know. Yeah, that's optimal. You don't want to, it's -14. You should do that a few times and so that you don't get abused by that. Yeah. So those are, I think, the strings that you should be aware of. It's funny. What did Blue God say? He's like, her B, the button B is a vortex, is what he said.
Oh, just the B.
Yeah, and it is pretty funny, like off this one button, like how much stuff she has. But yeah, I think it's all good to do.
Vertical vortex.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is it is still vertical at the end of the day too, on top of all that. So yeah, those are the strings. I think those are what you should know for that. And we'll just run through. We're running out of time here, or a lot of time. But let's go ahead and just run through the lethal hits so you know them. As a Kaz player, you should be triggering these, and as an against cast, you should avoid them. B6 we talked about is a backstep catcher. In general, backstepping is a big risk in this game anyway. Hi, Pluto. So good to know that that's there. Full crouch 8K is a weird one. She is a character that gets into red guard pretty quickly, so she gets a bit of a benefit in that she gets this lethal hit. It's I-14, is very unsafe on block, -22 on block. We can just show it in game maybe after this, or just do it right now. Just do it right now, because I don't want to spend too much time in game. Like, I'm not going to show you every lethal hit in the combo, but just so you know, it's the flash kick. Yeah, so it's really as a punisher, but it's I-14, so the fact that she gets a nice combo off I-14 is out of crouch is pretty crazy. I think that's going to be in the red guard. Then she has one of the best I-14 crouch punishers in the game, but it does have to be in the red guard to use it. So it's maybe something to be aware of. Also, it's, I think, like I had this issue, like when you're in red as Kaz, you don't want to just do this. You're like, please, 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 but it's so unsafe that, yeah, it's really should be used as a punisher. Don't let her have too much fun with these flash kicks. Oh, let's go back. But that is a pretty big lethal hit. A plus B, it's the same for everyone, but it's important for every character. That's you're going to get, you're trying to GI, especially a character like her, where she has a lot of plus frames, so a lot of people, their instincts...
I can just leave this up.
Yeah.
I'm so dumb.
No, it's fine.
Whatever. Okay, I'm done.
It's fine. So, you know, a lot of players will say when the enemy has plus frames, like say BK on block, you're going to want to GI to deny that. So it's important that she throws in that A plus B there to let her keep that pressure to discourage them from doing that. And of course, it gives her plus frames on block, as is universal. And then 4B plus K is a lethal hit post guard break. I have it here on the key lethal hits, but I think it's worth noting that the damage off it is not that good. This is something we'll demonstrate. Why don't you go in right now? I will go ahead and I'm going to switch it to the bot.
Yeah.
And it's, sorry, there's only a few moves that give this lethal hit. So that's one downside. So a fully charged 6K will give it. Kabloom. A shallow 4K. So that has so many active frames that it has different, oops. It's like plus on block at long range, and it does give the lethal hit, but you're not going to be hitting that reliably. Angelic Twirl BB, and only the charged one, so this is hard to get the range right, but oh my god, I don't even want to do it. Ah. So that's very niche. So the most reliable one is this jump B. And yeah, the combo off of it is not really like crazy high damage, despite all those conditions you need to reach it. Like if I get this combo correctly, that's 78 damage. And if I do a different combo here, sorry if I get the input right. Oops. Ouch. This will do pretty similar damage. Like, so I don't know. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. It's really, I mean, it's notable. It's nice. She's going to be pressuring people a lot, and her guard gauge pressure is not bad, so she'll probably get it a lot. But maybe as a Kaz player, it's worth noting you don't need to go crazy. Not like, say, for example, Grow. When Grow gets his gets a guard break that leads to his lethal hit, the combo after is like 100 plus damage. It's crazy, so it's worth fighting for. I'd say hers is not. And then, yeah, Soul Charge, the extension off 4B plus K does also trigger the lethal hit. In the testing I did, it doesn't even give that much more damage. So it's like, yeah, again, it's just not that juicy a lethal hit. And then this is a weird one that in her mount stance, it will lethal hit off the forward option if her health is low and the enemy's is not. So it's like a comeback. That's just something to be aware of as the Kaz player, because you can get more damage that way. And as the enemy, you probably want to break it. She's probably going to try and do it, right? If she gets you in mount and her health is down. And it gives her a nice little extension. So... yeah, those are the mean ones. Those are the probably lethal hits you'll see a lot. And if you want to flip over to the next one. These are the other lethal hit conditions she has, but I don't think they're that good. Or like you're not going to use them that often. So 6-6K is after reverse impact. This is only, I think, the only time we have this condition in the game. So that means she does a move, the enemy GIs it. She re-GIs, which the game calls reverse impact. Only after that will this work. It's pretty weird. So I don't think you're going to see this that often. Again, maybe worth thinking about when you're in that GI mind game. If she re-GIs you, it's probably good to re-GI as well, because she's probably going to try this. You know, it's really not that good.
Yeah, it's like the Sophie has the same one there, her 4-4B.
But it's like post regular GI is good. Post regular GI is good because you're encouraging the enemy to GI, at which point you can start working the A plus B, right? So Keelik has like his B6 or you know, characters that have post regular GI, it's good, right? Because then you really, the mind game, you land a GI, and immediately the enemy's like, oh my god, am I going to get lethal hit one way or the other? Am I going to re-GI and risk the break attack lethal hit, or am I going to guard and risk the post GI lethal hit? But reverse impact, Kaz doesn't have much. It's hard to reliably get into that situation. It's more just the bonus. Yeah. 4/4 B plus K is this big booty bump explosion. That's just pictured here. It's a whiff punish, but like it's only for light attacks, and this is a slow move. So I don't think this
No.
is very good. It's also -16 on block, so it's maybe you can catch someone. If you make a hard read, you can blow them up with this. It can be good. Even on like a BB whiff, you step a BB, you can get this lethal hit. I don't think it's that good either, just because of the risk involved.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a hard read.
Yeah, it can be on a hard read. It's just hilarious more that she just like booty bumps you and then there's a giant explosion.
Her
Maybe
butt makes you explode.
Yeah, it does. That's what we see here.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty funny,
yeah.
but it's not that good, let's say. And then if her angel step successfully tech crouches, the B will lethal hit. Doesn't give a big combo, just a nice bonus if you happen to get under something with angel step.
Yeah.
Or you can use it in can situations, like if it's an AAA and the last hit is high, you go AAA and do angel step, go under it, do the lethal hit, stuff like that. I think it's more likely to do that than as opposed to into neutral, where you're like, oh, they're going to do a high, I'm going to angel step. Regardless, this is just not a key lethal hit. It's like a benefit if you get it, if you make a read. Same thing for Angelic Twirl. Angelic Twirl, it auto GIs mids, all mids, but the time is very late in the animation, I think on frame 10 or something like that, or further. So it's hard to really reliably do.
Yeah.
It's one where actually you're not probably going to be doing it in the in strings, but instead in the neutral, you're using the back step on it or something like that, and you catch a long range mid. Yeah, it's kind of whatever. But again, if she does it successfully, you get a lethal hit. So not bad. It's actually kind of funny. You just do it instead of doing the extensions. I think the optimal thing is to just do the 1B, and then you can actually A plus B and relaunch them or do a lot of stuff like that.
No.
But it's not something you're going to do often. And then finally, her last one is this kind of resource one, the mount stance. If she's done it 5 times, I guess it can happen. Then the back one gives her a lethal hit. It's kind of funny. So the face sig gives a lethal hit. And so that
Again,
one,
her butt makes you explode.
yeah. So
Which is way well.
yeah, it's
I
pretty
guess it's
weird. Like
not-
I don't know who's going to be counting, but I guess it's good if you're really aware of that kind of thing, and you get into the 5th mount. You should probably break back, or should probably try it as the Sophie player, or sorry, as
Yeah.
the Cass player.
Well, it's the same. I mean, so again, Sophie's GI mechanics is the same thing. But Sophie, well, at least I don't know. Sophie's is nice that you don't really have to count. Like if you're just all of a sudden paying attention, you see all of a
You
sudden
get
she,
it.
you get a GI and she explodes in blue, and you're like, oh, I get the lethal hit on the grab.
There's a lot of these in the game, like or Cervantes' gunshots, where it's like, if you get it that many times, you're probably already winning.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bonus. The game's like, hey, good job, champ. You mounted them 5 times. It's not really something to go for per se. I guess as Cass, you can try to work towards this lethal hit a little better. You can use that 8B plus K combo ender that leads into the mount if you really wanted to work towards it, but I don't think that's a good reason to do it. You should do that ender because you want the mix-up, because you want Divine Force, and this, again, is just kind of a bonus. So yeah, that covers all we had. I suppose we just had some people kind of in and out, so no questions from the chat. This was going to be my chance to ask them, but I guess this one we'll put the VOD up.
Yeah, I'll take the VOD down. I'll upload it. You can always, well, I mean, it's YouTube, so you can leave comments and questions on YouTube, and
Oh yeah, you can do that.
we can answer it that way as well.
If you want to find us on Twitter, you can ask us questions on there.
Yeah. Or if you have any thoughts or other opinions and things like that, we'd be kind of interested in hearing them as well.
Yeah,
Only
we're kind of
kinda.
working on this new. No, it's good to get some feedback, and thank you for watching.
Yeah.
If you are watching this on YouTube, this is a pretty new idea for us. We just wanted to make sure to have some sort of stream, something more informative when we have these casual nights. So we'd be happy to hear feedback on that. No guarantees on what we're going to do with this segment as time goes on, but yeah. So do check us out on Twitter. Follow Big Papa Chunk on Twitch. So when we're not doing these casual nights, then we do have tournaments here on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific time. So next week, which, oh my God, how does a calendar work? That's going to be August
23rd.
23rd.
Math.
Friday, August 23rd, we'll have the next one.
I don't do math.
So yeah, I'm going to check in there. And yeah, I hope you guys are having fun. I think it's worth noting how maybe we've waited so long, but people really like Cass. Like, even though maybe she's not the best character and she's not crazy good, people are really enjoying playing her. Like I was joking, like everyone's like, "Oh, I want to be a Cass main," myself included.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I think again, her character design is really nice, and like
it's just
aesthetically
fun.
works out.
Yeah, she's fun
and
to
then
play.
yeah, I mean, like as we're going on like her gameplay. Oh, excuse me, dinner tasted very good. I mean, like her gameplay and approach. I mean, it's very aggressive, very forward. So I mean, I feel like
Yeah, she's
I mean,
just
there's
fun
a
to
lot of
play
people who
as.
I mean, that's what you want to do. Is you want to be on the offensive and do a lot of talk. So it fits into a lot of that where people can feel way more comfortable playing her as opposed to like super aggressive, like say like Taki or Talon, where I mean Talon you're mixing up the stances, and Taki you're just trying to figure out what to do every single second of your life. Things like that. So it's
maybe
like
a little more straightforward than some of the other characters.
yeah, it's way I mean not brainless, but way less thought and like panic
more
involved.
rewarding, especially early on.
Yeah.
In any case, so I hope that does help. And there's a lot of other good videos out there.
Yeah, if
so
I could link it, I mean
yeah, we can link them
Party
maybe in the
Wolf's video was
description.
very
Party Wolf's
good.
good. Scallywag had one recently. We talked about all her plus frames. So this is a more advanced thing. I guess we didn't really talk about it, but she can set up a lot of clashes. Clash setups are a very advanced thing, but there is benefit to it where you punish the enemy for mashing on your plus frames, and you may intentionally create a clash in your favor, which is plus 20. So I would recommend his video. He talks about how she can use that. Short answer, if you do 1K plus 2, and then you do single B, and they try to 2A mash or AA mash, they get clashed and they get blown up. So that's kind of cool. Just something else you can use. That's something definitely much more, I think, beyond the scope of what we wanted in this overview. But it's a good thing to check out because I think a lot of people just don't even know how the clash mechanic works. And in this game, there are ways to make clashes happen where moves hit on the same frame. And if they work in your favor, it's a big payoff. So we'll link his video. And yeah, hope you guys are having fun. Hope you guys tune in again then later on. Catch our tournament. I promise it won't be all casts. I think last week there were a lot of them. But then our top 3 was without them, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. That's something I'm actually very curious about. Maybe personally, I'm pretty set on wanting to play this character, but
I think, yeah, everyone else is just. I mean, she's a new character. So everyone else is just.
Everyone wants to
playing
play her
see
and at least
on.
know it and know the matchup. And I'm very curious in 1-2 months' time if she's everywhere and if she still keeps her popularity or what happens. So yeah. Anyway, thanks guys then for watching this, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. We're gonna close up shop for the night. I think. Well, we'll be here playing casuals.
Yeah, I want to get some casuals in,
but I'm not sure. Are we gonna stream them or?
No one's even on the stream setup.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could just leave my computer on, but that's I don't know. That's effort. No, I'm just gonna shut down.
Yeah,
honestly.
we'll probably pack up. So thanks guys for tuning in. Yeah, check us out on social, on Twitter, and Twitch if you haven't followed already. And we'll see you around.
Subscribe, follow, all the usual buttons that I hate shouting out. But
if you do it, we appreciate you very much.
Yes,
thanks,
I do that. I just because I don't
like
it.
Yeah, if you like and comment, then it's awesome. We love to hear from you, and we'll keep it going here in NorCal.
Yeah, and if there's anything you want to see in the future, just hit us up.
Oh yeah, we'll get to this segment more regularly. So if you want, if they're dying to hear something, let us know.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Oh, I don't know why I could have done. We've been Big Papa Chump and uwucos.
Oh yeah.
Love you. Bye.
See you guys.
Bop.